I wanted to share an idea that I came up with. I saw a watchmaker's lathe on for sale on eBay or somewhere. I don't remember where it was. And it had a dividing wheel attached to it. It was one of the old-timey clockmaker's lathes that you could turn by hand or put a little motor with, or a foot spindle or whatever. But it had this dividing plate attached to the front of it. I hadn't seen any on there before. And that made me start thinking. I have a lathe, and I don't have a milling machine and dividing plate and all that stuff. All that stuff's real expensive. But I was watching some videos on some old school dividing that they used to do and how they used to make wheels. So I thought I would come up with a design, a template to be able to mark wheel blanks with the line, so you could file down and make your own wheels with a file and get the teeth right and everything. So this is what I was coming up with. It's big. It's about 17, 18 inches. It's I started with 4 pieces of cardstock paper, taped them together real good at the corners to get my center and my lines real good, and then cut it around. Got my basic piece of paper. Then I took a compass and drew out circles a 1/2 inch apart. Then I said, how many teeth do I need to put on this thing? So I was looking at basic teeth. Escape wheels are like 30 and 32 teeth, and the ratios between the minute and the hour hand and all that stuff. I figured I need some pinions that are pinion gears that would be like 6, 7, and 8 teeth that would interact with other wheels that have 36 or 32 or whatever. So I was trying to figure out what divisions I needed to make, and I started with 60 because that's basic. 60 minutes in an hour, 60 seconds in a minute. You divide the 60 in half, you got 30 for a lot of escape wheels. So I thought, okay, I'll start with the 60, and I took my protractor and just divided it into 10 sections first, and then divided those 10 sections into 6 sections. And it took me about 4 hours to do this one row. Then I went up to 64, and it was a little bit less time. But as I'm doing other ones, I was looking online to see, you can just tell it, hey, I've got a circle and I want to have 48 divisions, and it'll tell you what your chord length needs to be. A chord is any straight line between an arc, and so it'll tell you what this distance needs to be online. But it's little fractions of millimeters. It still doesn't totally do it. You still got to step it all the way around, put one down, turn, step, and then you get all the way back around, and you missed it a little bit. So I figured there had to be an easier way to do it. And I found a pretty cool lady online, Sandy Kurt, and I'll leave a link to her channel. She's got videos on how to divide circles into anything, and they're super easy with just this and a ruler. So far I've got the 64, which can if I did every other one, I would have 32. And if I did every 4th one, I would have 16, and if I did every 8th one, I would have 8. So this 164 wheel will do four different sizes. Because when you put a wheel down here and you draw a line from a dot to the center of your wheel, it's gonna score it the right distance. So I thought that was really cool. So far, the only numbers I've come up with that I need are 7, because it's a prime number. There's not anything really a multiple of it that would help with anything. I've got a line of 40. I'm going to do one of 45 maybe. I'm not sure. The 48, 60, and 64. And I've got some blanks on either side that I can fill in some others as the need comes up if I need a wheel with an odd number of teeth. But dividing by 10 helps a lot, because you don't want to start here at 60 and go all the way around and find out you're off a little bit, and you turn this a little bit and you go all the way around again and you're off a little bit. You've gone a little bit too far, a little bit too less. When you get all the way back to the last one, you need to be in that dot and end right on the other dot, and it's not easy to do dividing it that way. So that's why I divided it into 10 first. And I found a video online that was real easy of how to divide stuff into 10 different, dividing a circle into 10 sections. So I'm going to go into that. I've got this one that's 40. I did 10, and then I split each one of those. It's got 20. I need to split it one more time and do 40. And then that row will be done. So all these little dots are, I'm going to take this piece of paper and put it on a piece of wood or something, and I'll tap a nail in each one of these, and it'll make a permanent template like a dividing wheel for a lathe. But I'm not going to use it on the lathe. I'm just going to use it to put a straight edge with a pin in it in the hole and put it to the center of my wheel and score my wheel so that I can hand file it out. Hang on, and I'll show you how to divide by 10 a super easy way. Okay, so I'm just got a blank piece of paper, randomly picking a spot. Make a circle, whatever size you want, doesn't matter. You've got a little center spot from this poking a hole in your paper a little bit. So you want to draw a line. I'm not left-handed, I can't draw this way, so you're just going to have to trust me that I get the center dot. In the middle of my line. Now I need a line going across the other way. So what's cool about circles and dividing them in half and stuff is that this radius that you just drew the circle with, you can use to make a lot of different stuff. So where this, well, we'll go back to that radius. So to divide it the other way, you need to be more than halfway. Doesn't matter how much. You can be a bunch, you can be a little, as long as it's more than halfway. Put your little point right there in that line. And to me, that's the hardest part, getting it in the spot. Alright, so I'm more than halfway, right? So I'm just draw this and this, and then come up here. And like so. Then if you draw between what you just do, you've totally divided the circle into 4 equal parts. Just broke my lid. Okay, so go back to my radius. Okay, so go back to your radius, and this line that you just drew, you start there. You should be in the middle, right? Come up to this line, put a line, come down here, put a line, come with your ruler. Come across there. So the line that you just drew, you need to get the distance from here to this top intersection. About right there. Draw this down. Then when you measure this, that's your 10 dividers. And if you measured it very carefully, and you got right in the corners every time, you can just step right around here and divide your circle into 10. And that's good because I'm right there on the middle again. I'm just doing this quick, it's not super accurate. See, I'm off just a tiny bit because I'm in a hurry doing it. But anyway, that's what I did here on this 40 and on the 60, divided it into 10. And then the same way that you found the middle here, you can get the middles of anything by just going more than halfway. If I go up here and I'm more than halfway to this one, I can find the middle between those two. So draw a line, and it's easy to divide it down. So once I get all my little X's on there, then I get this thing and measure it and step my way around and double check it, and so that my little holes are accurate. But anyway, this is the project I'm working on. Hope you found that interesting. I'll leave a link to Miss Sandy Kurt. She's really interesting to watch her draw stuff because she doesn't fumble around with it like I do. It's really cool. Thanks for watching. Alright, here's my board. Pretty much finished. My paper anyway. I still haven't put it on a board. But I've got 6460, 4840, and 7. And then I numbered all the little dots going around because if you if you don't do every dot, if you do every other dot, you get half that many, right? And if you do every fourth dot, you get a fourth that many. So this 64 line will do a 32, a 64 teeth wheel, a 32, a 16, and an 8. I wrote that wrong. That's 8. This 60 will do a 60, a 30, or a 15. The 48 can do a 24, a 12, or a 6. The 40 can do 40, 20, 10, or 5. And then the 7 is a prime number. It's the only thing it can do. So with numbering them, where did I start? Let me find all my ones that are lined up. I may not have them all lined up. Right here. All the ones are right here in the center. So if you go every other one, say you start number 2 and do all of the even ones all the way around, then you're going to split that in half, right? You'll have 32. And then I numbered them so that if you wanted 16 teeth, you just do every fourth one. So 4, 8, 4, 8, 4, 8. And then if you only want 8 teeth, then you just do the 8s. 8, 8, 8, 8. And the same with all of them. So that each line that I measured out can do 3 or 4 different number combinations. So basically any wheel that I would come across, but I still left some gaps in case I come across some other wheels sizes that I need to fill in at some point. But anyway, I'll maybe upload when I get the final thing done. I'm going to include a video that is like what I'm basing this off of that's really interesting. It's called the Antikythera theorem or something like that. This guy is building a clock from thousands and thousands of years ago, and he makes the tools, he makes the entire wheels, everything with it. And so he had come up with a thing like this, but I couldn't really see what his numbers were. I finally saw what his numbers were, and he had a lot of big numbers because his wheels had a lot of big teeth, high numbers of teeth. And so I tried to put numbers on here that were more practical to what you see in everyday clocks today. And yeah, I'll keep you updated. Hope you enjoyed it.